Morning. All right, cool. Let's rock and roll. Today's mobility, open books and around the world. Let's take a fetal position first. So the goal is to open up our upper back, thoracic spine, fetal position here. Opening up your arm and shoulder to the other side. Exhale, try to keep your knees together. Try to keep your hips at 90 degrees, knees tucked in. You'll feel that stretch in your chest and upper back. Come back to center. Inhale, exhale, up and around. When you open up, try to get your shoulder and your hand touching the other side. Stay there for a second and then come back around. We're doing 10 each side. All right, now around the world, we're gonna get back into that same position. Fetal position, bottom hand stays flat on the floor, top hand comes up and around all the way to the other side. Now check this out. How can I do this real quick? You need to see that side. There we go. All right, so please excuse my back. When you're coming up and around this way, now your hand is facing up. Fold it over. Flip the shoulder over so your palm is facing down. Now bring that hand to your lower back. Still keeping those knees up in the fetal position. Now you see how my shoulder wants to roll forward? I'm extremely tight up here. So my job is to try to keep my shoulder down, my elbow down, and my hand down and stretch that whole front body out. Come back and around, up to the other side. So you may not be able to touch all three to the floor because you're tight. That's fine. Just focus on pressing those three into the ground and enjoying that full stretch all the way around. Now we're gonna do 10 of these each side. All right guys, your warm up today, your 2 exercises. 1, low plank rotations. Good solid low plank position. Squeeze your butt, tuck your pelvis underneath, and rotating your upper body and hips so they're flat, so to speak. So your hips are stacked above each other, elbows stacked above the shoulders. Rinse, stop for a second, other side. Try to keep the glutes tight. Try to keep that lower back flat throughout each rotation. 10, so 5 each side. And then next up, frog jumps. High plank position here. Bring the hips up to the outside of the hands. Try to keep the hips nice and low. Back out. Try to keep that core as tight as possible every time you jump. So every time you come back to that position, regain control, tighten up. 10 of those. So 10 and 10. 1 minute of work, 1 minute of rest. 3, 1, 5, 1. Questions, comments? Cool. Let's rock and roll. Your 5 exercises today. Either you can use a dumbbell or a kettlebell. 2 dumbbells. All right, first up, Sumo deadlift. Profile view. Sumo deadlift means stance a little bit wider than normal. If this is normal, natural, then you're exaggerating. Splaying your hips out, rotating outward. Still hinging at the hips, still keeping that back flat. Deadlift, high pull. Bringing your elbows up higher than your shoulders. Wrist towards your shins. Okay, so you still want to have all that focus on your hips, and then at the top, you're getting some upper body involved. Pulling from your upper back. 15 of those. Next up, 1 arm overhead press. You can either use the kettlebell or the dumbbell. Your job is to think about a moving plank. I talk all the time about keeping that core nice and tight, squeezing this, tucking this nice and tight, getting those glutes activated, keeping that trunk solid, right, first. And then keeping that shoulder This side's the best, actually. You can see how I just talked about it earlier with everything being stacked with your plank. Shoulder, elbow, wrist, elbow, shoulder, hip, knee, ankle. Everything's a straight line. The minute you start doing this and you get tired, everything's off kilter, more susceptible for injury. Take your time with it. Only 10 each. Next up, you can use the weight or not. I'll show you with. It's a lateral lunge. If you've done it before and you're comfortable, then you know how it can be a little bit awkward if you're not having a good position, right? No weights, same stuff. Think about a squat to the side. This leg does not move. It can naturally, but this is your focus. So that weight should be above here, big push back to center, and then up here. Okay, if you're using dumbbells, you're going to be splitting that knee with your arms here. You still want to keep that good strong posture, keep your head and neck up. Okay, we're doing 15 each. Next up, easy breezy, you've done them 1,000 times, mountain climbers, high plank position. Light on your feet, keep the back engaged. Hollow rock position. 50 each. It's conditioning week. Last up, plank pull-throughs. You can either use a kettlebell or a dumbbell. You're here. High plank position, you're reaching back, pulling that kettlebell or dumbbell across your body. While trying to keep your hips solid and not move your lower back. That's the goal. So take your time with it. Build an endurance pattern that you can follow throughout the workout. Not just rush to get it done, is my suggestion.